What if I told you that there was a race in Formula 1 that was so brutal, dangerous, and that it made some drivers sick, faint, vomit, and passed out in their cars? Well, that's exactly what happened in the Qatar Grand Prix, which was one of the most epic and insane races in F1 history. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this race and why it was so tough for the drivers, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. The Qatar Grand Prix was held at the Lusail circuit, which is a high-speed track with long straight and fast corners. The problem was that the weather was extremely hot and humid, with temperatures reaching over 40 degrees Celsius and humidity over 80%. This created a nightmare scenario for the drivers, who had to endure extreme physical and mental stress for 57 laps. The drivers reportedly feeling sick, fainting, vomiting, and passing out in their cars. They had to drink hot water that was over 60 degrees Celsius, which did not help them hydrate. They also had to deal with high G-forces that impaired their vision and made it hard to see the track limit. Some drivers even said that they felt like they were being tortured. There are some comments from the drivers after the race.
That was probably the hardest bit, I think. Good fun, tough. Probably one of the toughest, well, actually I would definitely say the toughest race I've done, just physically. But
conditions were extreme for everybody, but yeah, I think we had something also on our seat that it was extremely hot, so I asked for some water or something at the pit stop if they can throw me something. And
yeah, I felt ill by lap 15, 16. You know, I was throwing up in the car, and I've managed to come down afterwards.
You can't see the track, you're so dizzy, it's dark, you're fading with low blood pressure and just passing out in the car.
The race also had a tire life limit imposed by the FIA, which meant that the drivers had to push hard on their tires with conserving them. This added more strain to their bodies and increased the risk of tire failures. Some drivers had to retire from the race or visit the medical centers after the race due to their condition. The race was won by Max Verstappen, who dominated from start to finish and clinched his World Championship title. He was followed by Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, who completed a McLaren 1-2. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell collided at the first corner and took out each other out of the race, ending Mercedes' hopes for challenging Verstappen. So why was the race so tough for the drivers? Well, there are several factors that contributed to the situation. One is that the race was held in October, which is not the ideal time to race in Qatar. The race next year will be held in December, which should be cooler and less humid. Another factor is that the cars are not designed to cope such a high temperatures and humidity. The cars trap a lot of heat inside the cockpit, which make it unbearable for the drivers. The cars also have limited cooling system for the engine and brakes, which can overheat and fail. Another factor is that the drivers are not used to racing in such conditions. Most of the races are held in Europe or Asia, where the weather is more moderate and predictable. The drivers train hard to prepare for different tracks and scenarios, but they cannot simulate the extreme heat and humidity of Qatar. The drivers also have limited time to acclimatize to the local climate before the race weekend. The last factor is that the race was very demanding in terms of driving skill and concentration. The Lusail circuit is a fast-flowing track and that requires precise steering and braking inputs. The track also has a very strict track limits that penalize any mistake or deviation from the racing line. The drivers had to be on top of the game for every lap, while fighting against fatigue, dehydration, and nausea. So what can be done to prevent such a situation from happening again? Well, there are some possible solutions that could be considered by F1 and the teams. One is to change the date of the race to a cooler month or the different time of the day. Another is to improve the cooling system of the cars and provide more ventilation for the drivers. A third option is to reduce the tire life limit or allow more pit stop for tire changes. A fourth option is to increase the safety measures and medical support for the drivers in case of emergencies. These are some of the ideas that could make the Qatar Grand Prix safer and more enjoyable for everyone involved. So what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with this suggestion? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more F1 content. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.